Yeah, so let me get an opportunity to introduce myself here. My name is Narsi. I have 12 plus years of experience in various roles, and currently, my designation is the associate architect, where I'm doing the practice like cloud and DevOps, security, and microservices architecture. So the technologies I usually teach are the Spring Boot, microservices, cloud native microservices with cloud, Spring Cloud, Java real-time projects, DevOps, AWS, DevOps with AWS real-time projects, microservices architectural patterns, microservices security, Docker and Kubernetes. So these are the various courses that I usually will teach. However, thank you so much for joining the DevOps with AWS awareness program. Most of you folks might be the freshers or maybe completed your graduation and then searching for the jobs. Maybe most of you are already doing the job, right? Maybe looking for a better career opportunities. Or most of you might be a non-techie guys. You are doing the job, probably non-IT job, but you would like to switch your career from non-IT to the IT. So these were maybe various parameters or various folks maybe who are attending this session is I'm expecting. However, if I'm a non-technical person and I have a little bit afraid about the coding, can I switch my career to IT? Or I'm doing some non-IT job. The growth and all are very less compared to the IT. So I would like to start my career in IT. So how do I? The two parameters we have discussed now. One is I don't have coding experience, or I have a fear about the coding. Okay, so the question is, can I get good salaries? Though I don't have a coding experience or I'm fear about the coding, but can I get a good salaries in IT? Right? So how do I get a good salaries in IT? Though I don't have a coding and all. Second, I'm a non-techie guy, or I'm a non-technical folk, right? I'm non-technical folk. I would like to switch my career on IT. So how do I, and which course I have to opt for learning? This might be the next question. And third question, I have completed my graduation. Right? I have completed my graduation. I'm looking for the highest paid, most demandable, market occupied technical job or technology. So I have completed my graduation. I am looking for the highest paid, most demandable, and market occupied technology job. How do I do this? Right? So for all these questions, the only answer is DevOps is the right opportunity, right choice to choose. I don't have a coding experience. No, you don't need to have any coding experience. Though you have a fear about the coding, doesn't matter. No problem. You can start your career as a DevOps engineer. So don't we have the coding in the DevOps? Obviously, we don't need to write in a single line of code. Everything is the configuration driven, meaning everything will be configurable. Scripts we need to write. scripting knowledge is required. Scripting knowledge is, script always will be a sequential set of steps execution, and it will be always be in an understandable manner. It's not like you have to write for loop, while loop, iterate the users, get the first name, last name. No, not like that. Every script means for executing a particular task. So what required to that task will be given through the scripts. So small scripts we need to write. Okay, and mostly tool driven. The DevOps job is mostly the configuration and then tools driven. Then why these guys are paying that much of salaries for these jobs? Though I am saying tools driven or configuration driven, the responsibility of the DevOps engineer is more compared to a developer on an application. A DevOps engineer should have to looks an application like his baby or like her baby. The developers will do the coding, that's it. But the application maintenance, application deployments, reaching the applications to the production and then making it to be available all the time is the responsibility of the DevOps engineers. So most responsible job is the DevOps engineer job. That's the reason the IT is paying a lot for these responsible folks. Okay, so I'm a non-technical guy. I would like to switch my career on IT. How do I? Yeah, that's what I told. Without any hesitation, go and join for DevOps with any of the cloud. DevOps with Azure, DevOps with AWS, any of the cloud you can join. Again, a confusion, sir, what course I have to learn? In DevOps, so many tools I have seen in Amirpet banners, or so many tools I have seen in the internet. What tools and technologies that I should have to exactly learn, where I will get the right opportunities? That we're going to discuss in a moment of time. Then I have completed my graduation. I'm looking for the highest paid, most demandable, market occupied technology. Yes, it is again DevOps to the cloud. So what is this DevOps? Again, we'll discuss what is DevOps, functionalities or the roles of a DevOps engineers, and how the DevOps evolved. All these things let us discuss. But first, let us discuss or take a decision. Are we going in a right path by opting the DevOps as our learning technology? Right? Maybe the folks might be in these categories, right? And they have to take a right decision. It's not so easy, guys. I know the painful point of the non-technical folks. They are doing some non-technical jobs for a while, but struggling a lot to switch their career from that non-technical side to a technical side, like especially for an IT side. Lots of questions they might have in their mind. Their time is precious, right? Family situations, time is precious. Assume once you learn a wrong tool, if you don't have an opportunities on that wrong tool, then that could be a biggest problem for those guys. So that's what opting a right technology is very, very important. So let's first discuss that. So for these all three questions, I said DevOps is the answer, right? Why DevOps is the answer for all these questions? Okay, let us go and see first what the market is saying about the DevOps, and what are the average salaries for a DevOps engineer? What are the highest paid salaries for a DevOps engineer? And what the market is looking for in DevOps? Let's see that. Okay, so there is an ambitionbox.com. These guys will have a very good information about the IT jobs, salaries, and take home salaries calculation. See the salary calculators, jobs, interviews, reviews about the companies and the companies that were providing the facilities or about the companies. So these guys providing a lot of information about the companies and then the salaries they are providing and then reviews about the company. Whenever you are joining to a company, you can come here and then search for its review. Assume you got one opportunity, one offer, but you are hesitating to go there. You want to know the culture of a particular company, come and then review. Okay, Glassdoor, Ambition Box. So these will provide the more insights about the companies and their functioning. However, so this ambitionbox.com site have done a survey on many engineers, and then they were published these statistics. In India, I'm talking about India. So they have considered 27.9K salaries, meaning the candidates' salaries they were analyzed, and finally they come to a conclusion. Yeah, I'll come to your questions. I'll come to your questions. Is the salary for freshers? Is the salary for experienced guys? I'll come to that question. Just bear with me for a moment of time. Just bear with me. Okay. So average annual salary for a DevOps engineer is 6 lakhs. This is very confidently they are saying. Very high confidence means the data is based on a large number of responses. Right? Average annual salary 6 lakhs per annum. Is this for freshers or experienced guys? If an experienced guys, what is the experience range and all? Let us see in a moment of time. So this is what average salary, meaning the freshers salary to DevOps architect, DevOps manager's salary. All those salaries were analyzed, and then on an average, a DevOps engineer role is providing a salary of 6 lakhs per annum, meaning 45,000 to 46,000 per month you will get. Take home salary. This is take home salary. Okay, now scroll down. We got some idea. See this. DevOps engineer salary in India ranges between 4 lakhs to 14 lakhs with an average annual salary of 6 lakhs. So this 4 lakhs to 14 lakhs is there. This is for the candidates who wants to start their career on the DevOps, meaning the guys who are joined on the DevOps as a fresher. So they are getting this salary. Fresher meaning a fresher without any knowledge or a fresher with the knowledge. That means the folks like you who attended the sessions, who have done the real-time projects, who have got a very good understanding, very good knowledge on the particular technology. Those are called as trained freshers. So the salary, average salary is ranging from 4 lakhs to 14 lakhs. This is for the freshers plus trained freshers plus 1 to 3 years experienced folks. Okay, now let us scroll down. Let us scroll down. So average annual salary by experience, if you can see here. By experience, if you can see here, annual salary. 0 to 1 year, guys, they have the average of 5.6 lakhs. 0 to 1 year, fresher to 1 year experience. And 1 to 2 years, 5.8 lakhs, around average salary. And 2 to 3 years, again 5.5. And 3 to 4 years, again 5.8. So like this, like that. So for various experience ranges, various salaries were there. So here, various parameters also now. Why? Because, the salary is for a 15 years of guy, it is showing just 11 lakh salary, it seems to be, right? these are again based on various parameters. Like they might be a DevOps engineer, but what the tool or what the DevOps automation tool they are using and what DevOps automation tool they are working is also matter. Okay, that is also matter. But if you can see on and average, these are average salaries, folks. Average meaning an accumulation of minimum plus maximum, right? And then the number of responses that they got. That is what this average salary. Okay, so I'm assuming, so freshers 5.6 and at least till here it is giving like 8 lakhs per annum. This is again with a very high confidence they were published this report. Okay, now salaries designation wise. Now come to the point. So what are the DevOps designations? Various DevOps designations are senior DevOps engineer, AWS DevOps engineer, DevOps consultant, and cloud DevOps engineer, and Azure DevOps engineer. See this? DevOps lead salary is around like 37 lakhs per annum. So DevOps lead maybe who have around 9 years, 10 years, 11 years kind of an experience. And see this lead DevOps engineer, 40 plus lakhs per annum maximum. And DevOps salary, see 35 lakhs maximum. And DevOps manager salary maximum up to 45 lakhs. Right? Maximum up to 45 lakhs. So these are the various roles on DevOps, right? So where we need to perform. So senior DevOps engineer role is getting an average salary of 13 lakhs per annum. Okay. So senior meaning what? Maybe an experience level, 5 years to 8 years, or maybe 4 years to 7 years, that range, right? So, however, so these are the sample forecasting of the salaries of a DevOps engineer. Now, we have so far seen how the DevOps engineer salaries in India. That's what I have completed my graduation. I'm looking for the highest paid or most demandable or market occupied technology job. Do we have any such a job? Yes. Learn the DevOps with any of the cloud. Then you will get an average salary of minimum 6 lakhs per annum. Okay. However, there were various DevOps engineer roles. We will discuss these DevOps engineer roles and all maybe later on time, but you just consider like, what we will get if we start learning the DevOps with any of the cloud. Now, okay, I will start DevOps. Sir, I don't know DevOps. What is DevOps? I will start learning it. Okay, so what the DevOps guys will do, that part I will come in a moment of time. I will come. So I am believing like, most of you guys might have a primary idea about the DevOps, I'm assuming, but if not, if you don't have any idea as well, I will let you know. I will tell you, but don't worry. Don't think about it now. Now, what are the skills that a DevOps engineer should have? What are the skills that a DevOps engineer should have? So DevOps skills, AWS, Python knowledge, not coding. Python knowledge is required. Scripting knowledge is required. And Linux for sure, a very good knowledge is required on the Linux. Very good knowledge. And Jenkins, yes, a very sound, very good knowledge, in-depth knowledge. Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Git, Terraform, automation, Azure, cloud, CI, continuous integration, and configuration management. So these are all the 15 technical top skills that are required for a DevOps engineer. Of course, these are just the titles. So configuration management again comes with the Terraform and then the Ansible. Continuous integration again comes with the Jenkins and then Git repository. Likewise, we may club the tools into a concept, but These are all the minimum things that you need to learn. Okay. However, now let us see the jobs on this DevOps. Just click on the jobs on the DevOps. Okay. See this, what they are expecting. So 10,346 jobs found for DevOps. And this ambition box guys pulled the data from the Naukri.com, and it is the ever latest data, I believe. When those guys posted, so that data they have pulled up. Now, if you can see here, DevOps engineer, 6 to 8 years experience, 6 to 8 years experience. What are the technical things they are expecting? Please concentrate here. A DevOps engineer with 6 to 8 years of experience is expecting product management, project management, Linux, DevOps engineer. Not especially, they have not written the clear roles, but expecting a DevOps engineer role, DevOps job with the Linux as a professional experience. Okay, now let's go to the next job, associate DevOps engineer. So what they are expecting, 0 to 3 years. 0 to 3 years, what they are expecting? Terraform, Jenkins, Linux, Kubernetes, Ansible, ELK, Grafana, DevOps, Python, GitHub. Kubernetes, Terraform, Jenkins, Linux, Ansible, ELK, Grafana. Okay, so just concentrate on this one. Now let's go to the next job. Maybe this is the senior DevOps engineer. Again, what you have seen? Kubernetes, Docker, Linux, right? Monitoring like Grafana, right? So let's go to one more job. So DevOps engineer. Okay, let's go to entry-level jobs. So 4 to 8 jobs. Linux, configuration management, again Ansible, right? These are the things. Now let's go to little low fresher level jobs. Let's go to little fresher level jobs. Probably let's click on maybe experience level. Let us take freshers. Let's take. Okay. Now see this. Now see this. Freshers level, if you can see. Carefully observe, folks. Please carefully observe. Please carefully observe. I'm noting down. I'm noting down your questions. I will give the time to ask the questions, and then I will interact with you. But please note down. So again, this is we discussed, right? Terraform, Jenkins, Kubernetes, ELK, Ansible. This is asking. And again, associate DevOps engineer. So here asking related to SAP, they are asking because the job requirement is in SAP. So again, here they are asking about the automation, just simply said automation. And if you can see this, guys, they are asking about the DevOps. Simply they said DevOps. And HCL, 0 to 1 year. HCL is asking about the DevOps and then deployment. And let's scroll down, and 0 to 1 year. So these guys are asking containerization, nothing but Docker, Linux, DevOps, right? So then here they are asking about the DevOps, Jenkins, Linux, Vagrant, Docker, Kubernetes, AWS. So with this, all the tools and then technologies and then jobs that we have seen, I mean, they are expecting so far. What are common things you have seen? Jenkins. First, what are the common things you might have seen? Linux, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, right? Terraform, Ansible, AWS, right? So these are the common skills they are expecting. Common tools they are expecting. No matter whatever the job is and for whom the requirement is. See this, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Terraform, CI/CD pipelines, however, we'll do through the Jenkins, but see. And then scroll down, a DevOps engineer with Kubernetes. So Kubernetes, DevOps, Ansible, right? And again, scroll down. Likewise, more jobs. Let us change the experience level to till 3 years. Now, maybe Let us choose DevOps only, right? Let us choose the big data engineers. Why big data came? Let's search again. Now 3 years, see this associate DevOps engineer. Again, this skill we have seen. They were asking about Terraform, Linux, and all. And this one, see DevOps, Azure, AWS, Azure, Kubernetes, Docker. And scroll down. They are expecting, though this is a Java developer job, but expecting what? DevOps. Okay, even for Java developers. And this is a big data role where they require the DevOps. And this is a again big data role where they require the DevOps. And a lot of, right, these are the jobs in IBM. So continuously they are posting, continuously 16 hours ago, continuously they are posting, That means what? They have a urgent requirement on this skill set, meaning they need the Python engineers, maybe they need the different engineers. Among them, DevOps engineers also they required, right? So by looking into this market analysis and by listing down the tools here, like Linux, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, AWS, right? Now you might got a primary understanding what you should have to learn in DevOps, what you should have to learn in DevOps with what should have to learn, what you have to learn DevOps with AWS or DevOps with Azure. Any of the one cloud is expecting by the market. Okay, so this is what you have to learn. And coming to the course that we were designed at the DurgaSoft, just out of curiosity, I'm just showing. It's not kind of just out of curiosity, I'm just showing. If you can see this, most of the stuff, what is the industry is expecting? See this: Linux, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, and AWS. Now, what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? The conclusion is, no matter where you will learn this technology, folks, I'm not just showing actually, but no matter where you learn, the technologies that you have to learn, or in the DevOps, at least the tools that you have to be master in, these are the tools. Okay, one cloud is mandatory, configuration is mandatory, automation, infrastructure management is mandatory. These are all mandatory. You may now ask me the question, sir, all these tools have a single person will be masterized, or have a single person will be master in all these tools? No, they're not asking you as a master. They're asking as an entry engineers, they are asking knowledge. And for experienced engineers, they are asking the working experience, not a master. No one will be master in any technology. That is impossible. Of course, possible, but that is not the expectation of the market. The expectation of the market, what, for experienced guys, your work experience is required for them. For the entry level guys, your knowledge is required for them. That is the, required things. But here, sir, I don't know, meaning I don't want to learn the Terraform, Ansible, blah, blah, blah. I will learn Docker, Kubernetes only. I will learn Docker, Kubernetes only. Yeah, I will Docker. I will learn the Docker and Kubernetes only. Do I get the job, sir? Okay, 100% you guys will get the job if you learn Docker and Kubernetes plus Linux. That's it. Of course, Linux is hot core. Without Linux, there will be no DevOps. DevOps is not technology. DevOps is not a technology or not a framework. It's a culture basically. But this culture involves the guys who have an experience on these tools, right? This culture. What is this culture? What is the meaning of DevOps is a culture, right? These things, just keep these points aside for a moment. Focus on the DevOps career now and the tools and technologies you have to learn. Okay, so Linux is the must and should for the DevOps engineers or the guys who wants to start your career on the DevOps. Linux is must and should. Sure, this is must and should. And then, sir, I don't want Jenkins. I will learn Docker and Kubernetes. 100% you will get job. Sir, I don't learn Docker and Kubernetes. I will learn Linux, Jenkins, Terraform. Don't know. 50% you will get the jobs. Sir, I will learn Linux, Jenkins, Terraform. Of course, again, 50 to 60%, maybe you will get the job. Sir, I will learn Linux, Jenkins, and AWS. Yeah, of course, jobs will be there. So maybe you will get an opportunity, but that is again 50 to 60%. Sir, I will learn Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. You will get job 100%. Of course, Linux is mandatory. Out of these statements, what you understood, folks? For a DevOps engineer, what are the hardcore technologies or hardcore tools that you have to learn? Linux, Docker, Kubernetes. These are very, very, very important. Linux, Docker, Kubernetes. Yes, Linux, Docker, Kubernetes. These are what, mandatory technologies. If you are to be pronounced as a DevOps engineer, though you don't know Jenkins, though you don't know Terraform, Ansible, no matter. But if you know Linux, Docker, Kubernetes, and little knowledge on the any of the cloud, that may be AWS, that may be Azure, that may be Google Cloud, no matter, but a knowledge on any of the cloud. Among the clouds, AWS is the leader. Among all the clouds, AWS is the leader now. It already occupied 39% of the global market among all the cloud leaders, where Azure occupied 22% of the market share. Folks, please be done. Can you please? Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah, Git is mandatory. I will come to those points, folks. Huh? Git, Maven. Now I will come to those points. So what here I have drafted the tools based on the mostly or commonly asking tools or the technologies about the DevOps in these job postings. I have captured the data from these job postings. Okay, job posting, I have captured the data. Fine. Now you got an idea. So what technologies that you have to learn. And if you can see, again, out of curiosity, I'm showing this one. If you can see this one. So Linux, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Terraform. These are what, mandatory tools. Mandatory tools. So mandatory. So I don't want to learn Jenkins. I don't know Jenkins. I don't know Nexus, EFK, Harbor, Prometheus, nothing. If you learn this first row, sorry, this first column, you will get 100% job. If you don't learn this Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, or Terraform, Jenkins, SonarQube, JFrog. I'm just naming. Maybe these tools might be a little new for you, or maybe you are already familiar with these tools. I don't know, but I'm just for a sake to create an awareness, I'm pronouncing these names. What I mean to say is, if you learn these tools without the Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, or Terraform, I don't think that won't be help you. Maybe you will get 1 or 2 jobs. That is like, insecure kind of a feeling. You should be, once you got the job, folks, you should be the key player in the team. No matter whether you went on fake experience, no matter you went on the fresher, no matter you went on the non-technical to technical, no matter you went on, I have a 10+ years of experience, no matter. You should be a key player in the team. That means if you would like to be a key player in the team, you have to learn what the market is expecting at this time. DevOps, you can't believe, folks, in organizations, there were not more than 15% of the folks know Kubernetes. Just believe me, Assume XYZ company have 100 employees. Out of 100 employees, only 15 members know about the Kubernetes. Only 15 members. You can't believe. If you want, you can ask your friends and anyone. They'll tell you. Right? Only 30 members of those 100 members know the Docker. Right? Nowadays, market is moving like anything. Everywhere. You might have heard a word called microservices architecture. So maybe these terms might be new or you might have already know. But what I mean to say, I'll explain these all the things in the demo sessions, folks. But what I would like to let you know is the future will be bright on DevOps. Scope is more on DevOps. Scope is more on DevOps for managing the applications like microservices. Sir, what are microservices? Again, don't worry. I'll come to that point maybe later in time. But once you got an awareness what to learn, then we will discuss about the what is DevOps, how to learn, and all these things. But again, in order to get a good knowledge on DevOps with AWS, it will take minimum 90 days. 30 days is required. Minimum 90 days is required. Okay, right. Minimum 90 days is required. Okay, so what is expecting by the once you learn this DevOps with AWS session? Okay, yes, easily. BA candidates got a very good opportunity. BA candidates got placed as a Java developers. I think this BSc degree is good enough degree. Okay, so nowadays, folks, graduation is mandatory, but at least I have seen very few cases who are not technical in your graduation also got a technical job. Those things I have seen, but few cases I have seen, not many of the cases. But however, now you might got one question, sir, learning all these tools, right? Basically, what we will do these tools and how these will be helpful. Okay, so meaning what we will do with these tools. Okay, as you said, market is good, we will get good salary, we will learn it by spending 90 days, we will learn it and then we will get a job. But out of curiosity, folks, can you please be mute? Thank you. Right, so but what you will do with all these tools? Folks, can you please be mute? If you have any questions, then you can raise your hand. I will definitely stop and then answer your questions. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Right, so with all these tools, I will learn 90 days, I will spend and then I will learn. But definitely I came to know what is Docker, what is Kubernetes, and all the things definitely I can know. But for a job, what is required, sir? What is Kubernetes? What is Docker? Doesn't give you job, folks. What is Terraform? What is Ansible? Doesn't give you the job. So being a learner, to what extent you have to learn, you should have to be in a position to automate an application from an end to end. I believe you are able to see my screen, right? So maybe it is little blur. I will try it again. So probably in our demo sessions, I will try it. But if you can see this, yeah, if you can see this, I'm just naming the tools, whatever we have listed out. These tools, I'm trying to show on this diagram. And sir, what is this diagram? How it will flow, and then what we can do here, and all the things. Don't panic. It is very easy. Every day you will enjoy the sessions, folks. Meaning, I'm again saying, not at DURGASOFT, not at other institute, but when you learn the DevOps with any of the cloud in a right manner, you will love the sessions. You will love the the work that we will do with the DevOps. Okay, just relax and then see the tools, whatever the listed we have here, how I will map in this diagram. Okay, so just sit, relax, and then just watch it. Let me minimize this. Let me correlate these tools with here. Okay, so probably it is visible to you, right? If you don't If it is not visible, just let me know. Yeah. Okay. Now see this Linux. Okay. Forget about this Linux. Okay. At least in this diagram, I'm not saying forget about Linux in the sense. Okay. I'll come to this point. Okay. First, let us start with the Jenkins. And before that, if you can see here, there is a source code repository called Git, right? Source code management, version control systems like Git, Bitbucket, GitLab, right? Maybe our Azure repository, or maybe our AWS code commit repository. Whatever it is, consider there is a code repository, source code management repository. Okay, so these are the developers. So developers, once they have done their development, they will place or they will keep their code in the source code management systems. Why, sir? Why they have to? Because developers are developing the code in their local laptops, right? In their laptops. Let's say I'm one developer, you are another developer. My code may be required to you, your code may be required to me. We cannot share the code over the machines, right? You cannot zip it and then share it to me. I cannot zip it and then share it to you because it's a violation, policy violation number one. Maybe the size of the project also more, and then we might not share sometimes, right? But however, code sharing over the file systems or maybe code sharing over the mails or something is a serious violation. You definitely will going to be terminated. Without any exemptions, the companies will terminate. If the codes will be shared or if the source code will be shared, over the some channels like Teams or maybe email, no, it will be a serious action they will take. But however, the original intention of it is, the source code might be shareable among the developers. So in order to share the source code from one developer to another developer, and also today I will develop 10 lines. Tomorrow I will develop 20 lines. Day after tomorrow I will develop 30 lines. Now I would like to go back to my 10 lines and have to see. That means version management, version control system. However, I don't want to use a bigger terms here at this moment because it's just an awareness session. So, but I would like to map it. So here the source code repository, and here is the Jenkins. Here is the Jenkins. And then here is the Ansible. Here is the Ansible. And before coming to the Ansible, you can see there is a Sonar Cube and there is a JFrog or maybe the Nexus. And here is the Ansible. And then where is Docker? Here is the Docker. This is the Docker host. And where is Kubernetes? So this is the Kubernetes. Kubernetes master, Kubernetes workers. And where is AWS? And these are all the AWS machines. These are all the AWS machines. And where is Linux? These are all the machines are the Ubuntu machines, meaning a Linux flavor machines. Right? And where is Terraform? Yes, Terraform scripts we will write somewhere here, which will instantly create this entire infrastructure. Sir, where is Grafana? Where is ELK? I have seen somewhere. This is ELK. Where is Grafana? Grafana will come something like here. Where is Prometheus? That will come here. What do you understand from this diagram or from this discussion? What you might have been understanding, right? You might now got the market expectation tools, and now you should have to know how you have to effectively learn these market trend technologies. Okay, don't think in a way like, I completed the Docker, I'm done, I'm relaxed. I completed Kubernetes, I'm relaxed. I completed Jenkins, no, that won't give you the job. You have to do all these tools. You have to create a CI/CD pipeline. Again, a new term came for us. CI/CD. Continuous integration, continuous delivery or continuous deployment, right? CI/CD. With all the tools what you have learned in the DevOps, you have to create the pipelines. Very, very important. Very, very important. And also, if you really learn it in a real-time fashion, you know, you alone, if you able to complete this pipeline setup, meaning when the developer will submit the code to a source code management system, then Jenkins pipeline will pull the source code and build here. Once the jar or var we got, or maybe the Python deployable file we got, or maybe the UI Node.js, AngularJS deployable file we got, then we have to move it to the RT factory, and from there we need to get it and then do a Dockerized Docker image for it. And here the Ansible is doing what? This Ansible is copying the Docker file to here, and from the JFrog we'll get the RT factory. Docker file plus RT factory, we will create the image and then push it to a container registry like ECR or Harbor. And from there, the Kubernetes will get the image and then deploy in the Kubernetes cluster. Then Kubernetes, once deployed the application, will start reporting the logs to the ELK stack or EFK stack. In our banner, you can see EFK and Harbor. So this EFK nothing but what, once the application deployed here, the logs will start reporting to this Elasticsearch, FluentD, and then Kibana. Okay, I'll explain all these tools slowly one by one, folks. Maybe in the demos you came to know more, but here you see the scope of it. You see the the requirement of the market and how you have to shape yourself to grab the market opportunities. I'm pretty sure if you learn all these things and if you alone will be able to do entire this infrastructure configuration, I'm pretty sure whatever the interview you attend, you'll crack that job for sure. Because what they will ask your work in interviews. What they will ask what you have done. What is the first question they are asking? Tell me about your project. What you did. Why the question they will ask? Tell me about your project. They really don't want to know about your project. What they will do by letting about your project to them. The idea or the intention behind that question is, while you are explaining what you did in the project, they will observe, did you really have done that? What command you have in that project? And what extensively you have spent your time on that project. So these are the interviewers will observe. Though it is a simple question, but that is the toughest question. Can you please explain me about your project? When anyone will ask that question in the interviews, it's the really toughest question for the guys who really have not worked on. But for the folks who really worked on, it's a very easy question. Here, what I am saying is, folks, learning plus implementation will gives you the good opportunities. Learning alone doesn't help you. And of course, obviously, without learning, you cannot implement it. Okay, just an out of curiosity, I'm trying to showing one, series. This is the diagram, right? Now, just an out of curiosity, see how many missions we have taken. So, see, deployment support matrix. This is very famous question for 2 to 3 years of experience, guys, on DevOps. Hey, can you please explain me your deployment matrix, what you have followed in the DevOps to deploy any application? So that they will ask the question. Then what you will answer? Assume you are using the, EFK. Assume this EFK requires how much memory, how much memory of the machine, this EFK requires 4 GB RAM. EFK requires 4 GB RAM. 4 GB RAM with what? 4 CPU core, not 2 CPU core, 4 CPU core. If it is ELK, then it requires the 4 GB RAM with 2 CPU core. Sir, I'm not understanding what you are saying. What this 4 GB RAM, what this 2 CPU RAM. So these are all the things slowly you will learn. That's. But what I want to explain you, I want to grab your attention. No matter wherever you learn, no matter, but I want to grab your attention. What you have to learn, to what extent you have to learn. So this is a simple question, folks. If I would like to, just filter out in the negative, I assume I'm an interviewer and with a negative mindset, I would like to find out whether you are a fake or a genuine engineer. Just in case I'm an interviewer with a negative mind I have, I would like to first of all filter the candidate, he is a fake or real. Then my first question will be, can you please explain what you have done in your project? That is my first question. With that, I will get a 50% assumption on you. And the next question I will ask is, hey, very good. You have drafted this figure and then you explained me very well. It's so nice. But can you please explain me the support matrix that you have used to set up this infrastructure? I repeat the question again. So first question, can you please explain about your project? Yes, you explained about your project, your DevOps project, what you have worked on and how you have worked on, and all those things, assume you have explained. Okay, with that explanation, you might have drafted this figure and you have explained me. Yes, with that explanation, I'm so happy, but I got only 50 or 60% of the assumption. Still in my mind, I have a question. At least this I'm talking for 3 to 5 years of experience engineers. When 3 to 5 years of experience engineers are attending for the interviews, the biggest task for an interviewee is whether that the biggest task for an interviewer is, meaning the person who is taking interview, the biggest task for him is to identify whether this person is fake or genuine. That is a biggest task for him. So first, if your profile will be 3+ years to 5+ years, the first question that come in his mind is, the first thing flash in his mind is whether he is fake or genuine. That is the first question flash in our mind. So from there, asking the questions will start. Always, every question, the interviewer will ask you to know, whether you are genuine or fake. First of all, that is the first interaction. Okay, however, what I'm saying is basically, you have drafted this diagram and then explained, but if the interviewer will ask you, hey, you said Docker, right? How much matrix you have used here? How much memory you have used here? Hey, you are taking Kubernetes, right? Can I set up the Kubernetes with the 1 CPU core? See how cleverly asking the question. Can I set up Kubernetes with the 1 CPU core? If you guys really, you attended session somewhere, you got a very good knowledge on Kubernetes, but unfortunately you have not practiced well, or you have not set up anything. You just have attended the classes and then you have gone through the theory. You have a very good command on the theory. If I ask anything in the Kubernetes, you will explain me for sure. But my question is not about the theory what you have learned in the Kubernetes. My question is, can I set up this machine with the 1 CPU core? If you guys say yes, we can set up this with the 1 CPU core, then you will be caught. Kubernetes require the minimum 2 CPU core machines. Minimum 2 CPU core machines. Similarly, ELK requires the minimum 2 CPU core machines. If you can go and then see the official documentation, there they will say it. And similarly, Docker is required the 1 CPU core is enough, but 2 CPU core is required. Ansible, 2 CPU core required. Jenkins, 2 CPU core required with the master and slave architecture. Maybe my terminology might be new for you folks, but this is the fact. This is reality. My terminology might be confusion. My terminology might be tough for you, but the reality is what I'm explaining. You have to learn this for sure, and very easy. Once you start learning this, these tools and technologies are very easy. You will love them. You know, the Jenkins, everything he given, what you need to do. So let me show you for your idea purpose. Let me show you something. So let me show you something. So whatever the pipeline I have shown you, right? Whatever the diagram I have shown you, right? That diagram implementation is nothing but the machines what you are seeing now. Okay. For example, let me go to see this Jenkins master, Jenkins worker, meaning master slave architecture we need to set up here. Interviewer will ask you, hey, did you set up the Jenkins, right? Then you will answer, yes, sir, I set up the Jenkins. Now tell me, how you did the setup of the Jenkins. You will explain, sir, I have taken Jenkins, I installed it as a Docker, or maybe installed it as a some service or some blah blah blah, you will say. But master and slave architecture is important. It is standard. It is standard. Based on project requirements, these may change. No. For any project, if you use the CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment tool as Jenkins, the architecture is standard. If your end deployment target is the Kubernetes cluster, this is never changed. This is a standard architecture, no matter how many projects you are doing. But if that project is using the same tech stack, then the architecture what I am showing is standard. Okay. However, I would like to show you something, guys, right? So what we will do is now, just bear with me. Just bear with me for a moment of time. Just bear with me for a moment of time. I would like to show you something. This is just an awareness program, folks. To take the right decision before you are joining any course in anywhere. Of course, all these things, I'm sure, but just out of curiosity, I'm showing something. Okay. So don't worry. I have opened some black screen and then typing something. No, don't worry. Huh? So just I'm trying to say something. So don't worry. I'm just I'm doing something which might not be relevant at this moment, but so just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I am trying to showcase you something. This is master. Yes. What I would like to do is let me go here and type something here, right? And then let me copy the IP address 32508. 32508. Even you guys also can access this application. Okay, let it open. So let us go to /dashboard. Hope you are able to see the application, right? Yeah, this is the dashboard. If you can see, there were the departments. If you can see, doctors might not have been added, but when we are trying to add the doctor, the departments might came here, right? Go and see the department here. Sir, why you have shown this to us, right? Why I have shown this to you is, this is an application, a Spring Boot application, a Java application. This application deployed in Kubernetes cluster. So that Kubernetes cluster is this one. So Kubernetes master, Kubernetes worker 1, Kubernetes worker 2. Meaning in the diagram, what I have shown you, Kubernetes master, Kubernetes worker 1, Kubernetes worker 2. This is what I would like to tell you. So where is this code? So this code is in somewhere in my Git repository. So the source code is in somewhere in my Git repository. So this is my source code Git repository. So if you can go here, here is the source code. Okay, here is the source code. Meaning in the diagram, if you can see this architecture, here is my source code management system. And how the source code is deploying here. So how the source code is deploying here, right? If you can see this entire architecture, only Jenkins is speaking to the source code management system, right? And the other components are not even speaking to Jenkins. The other servers are speaking to a configuration management server called Ansible, right? How this has been done. So the source code is here. If you can see src, Docker file, Jenkins file, compose, blah, 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 all are here. The source code here, how it came here? Through the Jenkins pipelines. That means you have to be a master, though you are learning. Master in the sense a proficient level. So proficient level. So let me go to this Jenkins master, and a proficient level, you have to gain that experience. For example, let me go here and then access this. I would like to show you something. That's what I'm opening this. See, the Jenkins came. Now I'm just sorry, I entered wrong password. Yes. So I entered some password. Now what I'm asking, what I'm telling is, see this environment specific pipelines we have to create. A dev environment, QA environment, like that. For example, if you take the dev environment, so there is a pipeline. This pipeline is what talking about. If you can see, hey, don't worry, I'm just showing it because of for your awareness. You know, slowly wherever you will learn, but slowly you have to learn up to this level. That is what my intention, but not to panic you folks. Please go in a different direction. Okay, so this is very easy. Even there is no point for panic here, right? So what I'm saying is basically you have to learn with a real-time parity. What we will do in real time, that you have to learn here. Okay, guys, can you please mute? Yeah, thank you. Right, so this Jenkins file we have written here, and it is a pipeline. If you can see, there are two things in Jenkins. One is the build, one is the job, second one is the pipeline. Job never expecting, or job never asking by anyone in interview. Pipeline they will ask. Why pipeline they will ask? You know, there is a concept called pipeline as a code. Pipeline as a code. What is pipeline as a code, and how you will implement pipeline as a code is the question. What is pipeline as a code, and how you will implement pipeline as a code? Again, the pipeline as a code will be implemented using the Jenkins pipeline script. How easy this script? You know, you never assume this. See, this is a just a descriptive script. See, pulling source code from SCM. You can write anything. Just give the Git repository, just give the URL. And again, once this is done, building the source code. You can write anything here. And just a command is required. Just a single line command. Just a single line command. And see this stage, building the Docker image. So here, what we are doing? So we are connecting to the, see this? First, we are connecting to the Ansible machine. Meaning if you can see here this architecture from Jenkins, we are connecting to Ansible. Now interviewer will ask you the question. How you are connecting from Jenkins server to other machines, or maybe Ansible machine. So there will follow password authentication and passwordless authentication. So basically if you can see this diagram, so from the Jenkins, we are connecting to this Ansible through an SSH agent. And this SSH agent will expect the username and then passwords of this Ansible machine, and password. And while executing the pipeline, it will don't again ask the passwords to us. Okay, I'll come to these things later in time, but I would like to showcase what extensively you have to learn in DevOps. That is what I would like to show. See, here we are connecting to the Ansible machine, and again we are connecting to the Ansible machine and copying the Docker file to Ansible machine. Again, from the Ansible machine, we have written the Ansible playbooks, and using that we are connecting to the, again, we are connecting to this DevOps machine. So DevOps machine, again, DevOps machine have the Docker host is there. This is nothing but, you know, DevOps machine. Docker host machine. this mission. Meaning from here, we are connecting to here via a playbook. Sir, what is playbook? We don't know and all. Don't worry, folks. You learn all these things. That is the part of course, and that's how it is taking 90 days, not 1 day, 2 day, right? See, these are all the things you will learn step by step on day-to-day basis. That's how it has been designed for 90 days. Otherwise, it could be 1 day, right? Or 10 days, right? Maybe 5 days, right? No, that's not the case. A realistical implementation you have to do, and hence the designed duration for this entire implementation is the 90 days. In that 90 days, you will learn everything. What is Jenkins? What is pipeline? What is Git? What is and all? You will learn everything, right? Okay, folks, I hope you now got a primary idea about the DevOps and how the DevOps our tools are, and how the DevOps tools we have to configure, right? And all the things. And coming to AWS here, you also have to learn AWS, because our deployment production environment is the AWS. If you can see here, so our production environment here we have configured is AWS. See, all these are AWS missions. Around 9 missions, 10 missions we have taken. Around 10 missions we have taken. If you can see this deployment matrix, this one, see Jenkins master slave setup. Again, it is on AWS. See, AMI we have taken. And SonarQube, Jenkins master, Jenkins worker, and SonarQube we have taken. And then Docker setup. And then Jenkins configuration, K8s cluster, right? And then the project and CI/CD pipeline architecture. A total of 9 to 10 missions we will take, and then we will do a real-time things. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now this is about the DevOps awareness program. Now you might have got an awareness on DevOps and DevOps tools and the pipeline, right? How the code will be automated and all. Now it's time for FAQs, folks. I will go through the questions one after the other what you have asked. Yes, the course content we will publish in our website. And first thing is what? With these all the tools, we have planned a course that is DevOps with AWS on Linux, with all the tools you have probably have seen, right? What are all the DevOps required technologies or the tools asking by the market, that we will cover in this course. It is a 90 days program, and the fee is 12,000. Of course, you can go and then ask for the concessions if you are the DURGASOFT students, or maybe you can go with your negotiations with our backend team. But the duration is 3 months, and in these 3 months, entire pipeline what I have shown you, that pipeline you will learn along with the interview guidance. Okay, right. This is 8 p.m. IST, and starting from tomorrow onwards. So very basic level we will start. I am assuming that you don't know anything. I will assume that you don't know anything, then I will start. So let us start with a story. Why we need to go for a DevOps? There is a beautiful story. You definitely will enjoy that story. Let us see that tomorrow. And with that story, let us understand why we need to go for a DevOps. Okay, right. Now let me, yes, any morning batch for upcoming? Yes, upcoming morning batch also we will plan. Maybe we'll plan. Maybe after 2 weeks of time, we'll plan in the morning. And can we discuss with Azure instead of AWS? Hey, Venkat, actually, you are right. We can discuss with Azure instead of AWS. But again, what I have told you, this is the generalized course based on the market expectations nowadays. So if you can see, AWS is the most demandable cloud everyone is asking nowadays, right? Maybe compared to pricing wise, little higher than the Azure, but comparatively, I may not compare both Azure and AWS at this moment, but AWS is most occupied skill in the market compared to Azure. That's what I have seen, and the analysis what I did. Even you can go and then see any survey that is saying the same. So that's how I'm going with the AWS, not on the Azure. Okay. So DevOps with AWS course is essential, or separate AWS course is required? No, not required. Folks, you join this course and then relax. Everything, whatever the market is required, that we will provide you. Learn everything, practice thoroughly, and then 100% you will get the job. Here, DevOps alone might be give you the job, but they will expect the AWS in the interviews. Of course, required in you while working also. AWS alone also will give you a number of jobs, but that might not be a DevOps role again. But if it is a DevOps with AWS role, or a DevOps with one cloud role, or a DevOps role, definitely you need to have the DevOps with the AWS as a combination. And whatever I have listed here, right, these are pretty good enough and most commonly used. It's not so easy, folks. For you, it is just 3 words or 2 words, right? But while implementing, we may have to spend weeks of time. For example, if you can take this EBS, why EBS came here? Why EKS came here? The same set of cluster what we discussed here, right? Where it is? Maybe this one. The cluster what we have discussed, right? So the entire cluster, if you want to set it up, at least this Kubernetes cluster, if you want to set it up in the production, we will go with the AWS EKS. And there, the volumes are very important. Of course, maybe I'm using little hard words now, volumes and all, but a storage is required. How the storage helps us and all we'll discuss, but you know, these are very important and then very essential concepts for any DevOps engineer. Okay, however, yeah, so okay, thank you so much, folks. Yes, do you explain real-time projects? Yes, I'll explain real-time projects. In fact, you know, DevOps with AWS real-time project also we're going to plan in the future sessions. AWS practitioner or AWS solution developer certificates can be done with this course. Yeah, definitely can be done. Syllabus, yes, syllabus we will publish. Maybe you can see in the our DURGASOFT Institute. Yeah, so Abhijit, if someone has 10 years of experience in non-IT field, I want to move in DevOps field, will they consider hike in salary? Current CTC is around 100%, folks. Hey, Abhijit, don't worry, because DevOps is extensively using since last 3 years only. That is very good point, you know. Before 3 years, see this one survey. I would like to show one survey. Probably I thought to discuss a lot, but being time, you know, being time limits and all, I'm maybe you know, winding up it in next 10 minutes. But if you can see, longevity of DevOps practices. See, 5 years or more, just 18% only. 3 years or less than 3 years, 36%. 1 year to less than 3 years, 39%. That means what? Companies who are using DevOps since last 3 years are just 36% only. Companies who are using DevOps since last 1 year is around 39%. What does it mean? Though you have a 10 years of experience as non-IT, 11 years of experience as a non-IT, if you could be able to manage your experience, it is very easy to get the job on DevOps and then get a good hike. Okay, I believe I answered your question, Abhijit. Yes, Nilesh, I have 4 years of experience as a manual tester, but I want to learn more technical, so I'm confused what to learn. Can you suggest me something? Hey, Nilesh, you attended this session, right? So I believe you might got some knowledge about, you know, what to learn. However, let us, if your question is about, you know, more technical stuff related to auto deployment, right? You are a manual tester. Now, if you are to do an automation, right? Yes, you learn these things, right? Selenium, Jenkins. We can incorporate Selenium also, folks, in this pipeline. That is very good, you know. We can incorporate automation test cases here. See, SonarQube is there now. So after SonarGate completed, then we can have Selenium here, and we can attach the Selenium here. So Jenkins, Selenium, Git repository, SonarQube, again, all these things also automation testers can learn, right? That will be a bright future for them. No coding. That's what I told. No coding. Coding is not required, folks. A little script is required that I will explain, and you will definitely do on your own hands when you start the session. Okay. Santosh Kumar, how many years of experience can we show after this course? For sure, minimum 5 years. And I'm not more, overconfident fellow, but the reality what I'm explaining you is, in general, the person still 3 years of experience is equivalent to freshers in my sense. Not only in my sense, the other views as well. 0 years experience guy, meaning the fresher, don't have the knowledge, whereas the 3+ years fake experience guys have a knowledge because they were trained on the technologies. So 0 to 3 years are equivalent to a fresher only. At least in my opinion, we cannot expect wonders from them, right? So what I'm saying, with the course, what I'm going to cover, you can put till 6 years, 5 years. It's up to you. But just believe me, what the work we have done here, it's a complete realistical work. And then if you really do on your own hands, as if you are here, if you're able to set up this entire infrastructure automation automatically, right? Entire automation, if you're able to set up, you can put 10 years experience, doesn't matter. But what I'm telling, maybe it's not a kind of a hypothetical word or maybe some sarcastic word. I would like to tell the how much master experience you will gain on the technical stack. That is nothing but our experience, is what I mean. Okay, so finally, what I could answer your question is, till 5 years of experience, you can happily showcase. Okay, yes, sir. Do you provide daily assignments for practice? Yeah, folks. Yeah. So do you provide daily assignments for practice? 100%. I will provide daily assignment for practice. Maybe not daily, because if we discuss Jenkins, right? This Jenkins pipeline setup might take 2 weeks of time. So during this Jenkins, maybe 2 days once or 3 days once, I will give one task, because to complete that task, it may take 2 to 3 days for you. So not daily, but maybe on the need basis. But definitely for sure, weekly 2 tasks will be given to you, and for sure to complete that, it will take a 1 week for you. With okay. Can I talk with you, sir? Sure, Sheikh. Let's have a good time, probably coming forward. Huh?
Good morning, sir.
Hey, hi. Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Thanks, Sheikh. I'm doing good. By the way, how are you?
Okay. I am fine, sir. Actually, my MTech will be completed in the year of 2014, sir. Present, there is a low salary, maybe around 2 lakhs, 2.5.
Okay.
I'm already joined in your institute, sir, DevOps with AWS. Every day I'm attending any one of the demo sessions, sir.
Okay.
So your demo is very good, sir. But I have doubts, sir, related to this one. At present, I am joining the DevOps 3 AWS course. That is essential, sir. Separate AWS is required.
No, not required. Don't confuse, please. Don't confuse, please. DevOps with AWS is very good enough, because you are going to be tagged as a DevOps engineer, not a AWS specialized engineer. You are going to be tagged as a DevOps engineer. So DevOps with AWS is very good enough. Please don't spend unnecessarily more time on AWS learning, because there were 200+ services were there, and for sure 30+ services are required for the AWS engineers.
Okay, sir. I have one more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Present, my MTech is complete 2014, sir. I don't have any real-time experience, sir. So then how can I manage, sir? That is
that's where this discussion happened so far, right? If you can see, just imagine,
tell me, sir.
Imagine you are just learning and then setting up this entire pipeline. Start setting up this entire pipeline on your own in AWS. Then why don't you get the experience, right? See, experience is not come if you join in one biggest company. No, even maybe I'm little exhausting, but See about the case of the Facebook, where they were started, right?
Yes, sir.
Experience
Yes.
nothing but what, folks, the work what we are doing is nothing but an experience. You do this work in our Durga Institute. Who is stopping you? We will help you, right?
Yes.
So set up
Yes.
this entire thing in our institute. You will get 100% experience.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'm clear, sir. My doubt will be clear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Already I'm joining evening class, sir. In maybe 3 months, sir. Class.
Okay,
Already
great.
2 months will be completed, sir.
Okay, okay.
Your lecture skills also awesome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Shay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, folks. However, yeah, thank you. Going forward, I will discuss more. Please attend the sessions if you are interested, and to get more knowledge, to get more about the course that I am starting in DurgaSoft. Please attend the demo sessions if it is possible for you from tomorrow onwards at 8 p.m. IST. Going forward, we will start DevOps with real-time project in morning sessions. For sure, we will let you know. Okay, so I'm winding. I'm winding for the today. However, thank you so much, folks. You might have a lot of questions in your mind. Maybe in a single day, we may not accommodate, or we may not clear all those questions, right? If you want more interactions or want to get more insights about this course, try to join. Let us discuss more, and then let us have some good experience on this DevOps with AWS. However, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining, folks. Thank you so much.